Oh, hey guys, thanks for tuning back. It looks vintage arts and inspiration. As you can tell, I was kind of mocking this guy a little bit. I have to have fun once in a while, y'all. Have to. I go crazy. So, what we're looking at is a 1989 Traxxas sledgehammer. Very cool truck. Love these guys. I've been hunting one of these down for quite some time. These things don't pop up every day, I'm gonna tell you. These are becoming quite scarce and quite valuable now, especially in the first gen like this. They do make a second gen. I do have that one that is the black chassis. Actually a little bit better truck in my opinion. But they would later on merge to do a Stampede instead. So this would only last for so long and not super expensive. So let me show you the chassis. These would use an XL1 ESC. It's a black body, 2 red heat sinks on top. I have opted to go with an aftermarket because that ESC is no longer working. But this one works fine and it still gives you that little bit of a red look. I was using an XL5, but I found this one in my drawer and I like this one better. So we're going to go with this one. Also, you do need to make a plate if you're going to use one of these and put it in to me, the correct area, because that's where the original one sat. So I made a little plate for it and screwed it into the existing mounting holes. Didn't make any holes on this chassis. Speaking of chassis, these are quite crackable in my opinion. So got to be real careful with these. They're not super strong. They are stiff though. I would say it's quite a stiff chassis, but it's almost like glass. So you got to be real careful with this guy. One good bump and you could break it. So what else? We are using a Traxxas servo for steering. Is a 2056 waterproof. So at least got the Traxxas servo in here. We'll be running 2.4 gigahertz radio for control instead of the original Traxxas units. Not gonna trust that. So this runs pretty good. I will say, if you can get the ball bearings for it, definitely get you some ball bearings for it. It's gonna run a lot better. It's gonna be a lot smoother. I will be running this one with bushings in the original tires and then ball bearings in the aftermarket tires. And let me stress why that is. The original tires are over 5 ounces a piece. These can go up to 5.4, 5.5 ounces each. Quite a heavy tire. So, and also they're quite plastic filling. They're not as soft and supple as a Tamiya equivalent. That would be for like the Monster Beetle or the Mud Blaster type or an Extreme. Those are a better tire and softer and readily available through any hobby stores. So definitely do that upgrade, and you'll be thankful if you're going to run it. Also, I got a aftermarket motor in this one. It's an HPI 15T or 15 turn motor. Perfect motor for this truck. It is just like the original motor, except it is a little hotter, obviously, but not so much where it's going to explode the transmission. Gives a little bit more power, in my opinion, much needed for this truck. So if you're going to be running, I would say just, I wouldn't put any brushless, super high speed motors or nothing like in this one. If you want to do that for the Stampede. I would leave this one as stock or as basic as you can. Maybe do some mild little things like I did and you'll be fine. Because these are quite rare and they are going up in value from what I could see. So very cool. In this video, we're also going to see the working ship and how to make this thing come together and turn into a perfect running RC now. And then we're going to see the top speed and the run review as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on this bad boy. And all of that's going to start right now. Alrighty guys, now we're getting ready to do the restoration on the Traxxas sledgehammer. First thing we're going to do is get these dropped off in a bath. It's a solution with a little bit of detergent, and that should help get these cleaned up and get them soften them up a little bit. And then some Armor All on them to make them shine a little bit. Once we go from there, we're going to go with cleaning the chassis with a little bit of warm water, detergent, and some bleach. Hopefully that gives a little bit more of a brighter look and a little bit more white. So then we're gonna get the shocks cleaned up a bit, clean the rims, and get all the hardware and some oil. So yeah, check out the gears, make sure the gears are good. So got a lot of work ahead of us in the cleaning stage. Once that's done, then we can get into the build-up, and then we can start working on the body. All right, so we've got all the parts clean and washed up. Everything is looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and start doing the assembly. We're gonna have to clean the shocks, get some shock oil in there, start tearing down the drive gears and stuff, get those nice and clean. But no real damage on any of the stuff, so we're pretty lucky. Tires are washed up. Let's go and get this bad boy put together. Show you the weight of this tire that I feel like it's crazy heavy by Traxxas. That's on these trucks. So we're looking at 5.3 ounces or so for it with the original tires, and then we have this aftermarkets right here by Tamiya. That's for a Monster Beetle or a Mud Blaster. So let's see here. 3.5 ounces. So practically a 2 ounce difference between these two. So for runs, we're going to be using the lighter tire by Tamiya, and for like maybe slow motion drive shots, we'll use the Traxxas tire. Alrighty, as you can tell, the sledgehammer is pretty much assembled up and it looks really good. We'll need to get some things adjusted, such as steering and stuff like that. Got a servo installed. What we're going to be doing is looking at ESCs right now. This is the XL1, kind of like their vintage one that comes with these guys. But that one has a slight glitch. We're going to go with an XL5 by Traxxas. So still keeping with the company. It's probably going to go somewhere right here. We're going to mount it. But I got to make some mounting stays. So let's go ahead and get to that. I had to do a little bit of modification to the turnbuckles here and everything like that, just to shave it down in here. It seemed like I couldn't get the right, correct kind of position without shaving them. So now I don't have towing. It's like this so much. When you compress it, it just kind of goes in a little bit. Perfect. Next thing we needed to do was get our ESCs mounted and everything like that. I test drove it with this one. The XL5 runs pretty good, very linear. But I tried this one out just for curiosity because it had the red heatsink, and I like the way this one performs a little bit better. So we're going to be using this one in this truck. I got to make a clear plate for it, so I got to cut this little plate of plexi out and then match it up and then get the holes lined up. Really easy with clear plastic. Once we get that going, then we're going to work on getting the body set up with markings where we need to mark everything off in order to do that. So that's going to look really good. right, now for a top speed run for the Sledgehammer. We're based off 0 right now. Let's see what she does, guys. Scoots along pretty good. I don't know. Let's see. 21 miles an hour. That's awesome. Super cool. Now on with the run review. Alrighty guys, now for the running portion of the video. So right now we're running with just the stock bushings in the front, because I got the old school tires. They're not the best. They're kind of hard and probably not meant for all-out high-speed running. So we're just not going to do too much crazy stuff with it. But I wanted to drive it with the original meats on there. Drives really good otherwise. I mean, for what it is, you know. It's a truck from 1989. But transition is pretty decent. It'll still wheelie with the heavy tires on here. I had to control my throttle there, because if I didn't, it would definitely be a little too much of a wheelie. I'll show you what I'm saying. Let's see. See what I'm saying? It definitely's got the wheelie power. And not bad either. I mean, you're still getting that low down grunt, and you're able to get 21 miles an hour out of this thing. But if you're going to be running them, I definitely suggest using the Tamiya type tire that's similar to this. You can find them off of a Mud Blaster or Monster Beetle or something like that. I'll put the description down below what tire you would need. All right, so now we're going to go straight into going off-roady type of a drive. That should be a lot of fun. All right, let's get the off-road portion going in now. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Free-wheel action. So Sledgehammer ain't no joke. Turn-in radius is pretty decent. It's really cool because you can adjust the toe of this truck. The toe in, toe out, front or rear. So couldn't do that with a Blackfoot. Lighter body. All right. And so now we got the lighter weight tires back on, and we're gonna do some jumping. Let's get this boy on the, well, in the air. Wow, nice. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and bring her in. Alrighty guys, let's wrap on this bad boy. Traxxas Sledgehammer turned out pretty cool. Yeah, not too shabby. It runs pretty good. Bit on the heavy side with those big, the old tires, but not too shabby. So if you have any memories, drop them down below. We'd love to hear about it. And also, if you can, hit that like button and subscribe. We've got a lot of cool projects coming up, and I'd love to see you here. All right, guys, take care. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.